Hey y'all, this is Church from Church's Intake. So let's get into another conversation about hustle money, you know, fast money, you know. And it's not always about, selling drugs and things of that nature, but it is about, doing wrong deeds. Like you can be gambling and that's fast money. You can be on OnlyFans, you can be a stripper selling your butt out here in these streets. That's all fast cash. But one thing that a lot of people don't talk to you or tell you about is when you've been a hustler or you've been getting this fast money and you kind of living that street life, that you're not really building up a resume. So say you've been doing this for about like 5, 10 years. You're a young buck coming up in the game. You just graduated high school or just left a couple years out of high school. You're in college. You've been selling whatever, you know what I mean, or you've been doing whatever it is, getting a little fast cash to make ends meet, and it's a lot of money. It's fast money, so it comes fast. It also leaves very fast, and you can't spend it in the ways that you would think that you could spend it in. Like if you selling and you hustling, you can't go past that 10K mark without getting that red flag, and then they're gonna wonder out where you've been getting this money from. Another thing is when you trying to traverse from fast money to being legit or legitimate, um, you know, you don't have a resume. So if you was to go into the work field, per se, 9 to 5 or something like that, you ain't got no resume. You ain't got no years established and a good job, um, and the atmosphere. So when you go from making this fast cash, I'm making like 10 bands, 20 bands to making like 16, $15 an hour, it's just not going to feel the same. It's not going to add up. So you can see like some people, even when I was coming up, you'll see a dude like 30, 40, like, yo, he got locked up or whatever. He had to change his life. Now he's doing it the right way, and he's seeing that he has to start from ground zero. You making less than a lot of young bucks out here that's been working the 9 to 5, that's been building their resume, that's been trying to establish themselves up to be greater. So you have to know that that's downfall. Another way, like even if you was to try to change your money up and have a portfolio, if you ain't got the right type of cash to make it happen from bad to good, then you still jammed up. And a lot of people don't understand, even when you trying to do that, trying to change it from bad to good, trying to change up the atmosphere of your money from, oh, let me take this dirty money and wash it and make it clean money. You're going to have a lot of hurdles because it's more to it than just let me switch it from, oh, I was a hustler and I did all of this and let me change my money up, I'm gonna keep this money. Like, no, it's more to it than just let me change this money up. It's a spiritual aspect to these things as well. Like when you trying to say you was on the dark side, because more or less a lot of that fast cash is on the dark side of things, and you trying to go legitimate, which would be more on the clean side. Not always saying it's not saying that if you working a 9 to 5, you still can't be on the dark side. It's the same thing. But when you are trying to go from the dark side, let's say if you wanted to come over to the good side of things, you wanted to be like, yo, I want to make a better life for my family. I've been living this fast life too long. I don't want my kids growing up like this. I want my kids to have a good, clean start and stuff like that. You have to know that there will be a crushing. And when I mean a crushing, it's not like the crushing, like, oh yeah, you're just gonna have like cops gonna run down on you and stuff like that. Like, no, no. That's not the crushing I'm talking about. I'm talking about the crushing of if you was getting it the wrong way and you trying to traverse to doing it the right way, you're gonna have to get rid of the old what got you all that old baggage, luggage, because all that old wrong money has to be extinguished before you can start your new path with good intentions. Like you can't put just it's a quote, you know what I mean? It's not even a quote, it's a scripture. You can't put old wine in new wine skins. You know what I mean? Like you can't just be trying to put the old with the new and thinking that it's gonna sustain, because it's not. It's gonna crumble. It's gonna crash every time. And that's why people, you'll see some people like, yo, they had all this money, and then you seen them trying to go legit, and they had that same money, and then they lose that money because that was what they was doing for the dark side. Like Satan, like, nah, you ain't taking this, gonna try to do good with this evil money that you did all of these evil deeds, you know what I mean, hustling. And well, let's go with the hustling aspect on this part, you know what I mean, because it's easier to like put it in perspective if I'm talking about hustle money. Not saying like all dark money or dirty money is hustle money, but I'm gonna just use it as a means to, so you can understand it a little bit better. It's like you can't use this hustle money, the money that you've been selling drugs with to get my people high, to get these people high, strung up off of all of these different things, and now you want to try to clean it up. The same money that be killing people, the same money that be putting people in poverty, the same money that be having these people strung out, homeless, and everything else like that. You think I'm going to let you take that money and try to do good with it? Like, you think you just going to have a clean slate with this money? Nah, it ain't going down like that. And you can look at it on all spectrums when it comes down to clean and dirty money. Like, you ain't going to be selling your butt out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? And let's go on the other side with the women type, you know, selling their butt and stuff. Like the OnlyFans, like that one chick, Black China or something, she was trying to get right with God and stuff like that. Not saying she's not trying to still get right with God, but she seen that the hurdles that it was causing in her life from, yo, I had this OnlyFans account, you know what I mean? She took off the Baphomet tattoo and everything else like that, but it was like, yo, you had to get rid of them OnlyFans and stuff like that. Like, that was a lot of money that was coming in. Like, yo, you ain't doing that. You ain't out here showing your butt. You know what I mean? You got to find it the right way, the legitimate way. And you can't use this other way and then claim that you got God on your side when, you know what I mean, you still trying to be on the other side. It's like you trying to serve two masters, and you can't do that. You can't be on the fence with one and expect something great from the other side. I'm going to just take what the devil gave me, all this cash. Like, I'm going to take these millions that the devil, you know what I mean, I signed up for this, to do it. I was a scumbag, you know what I mean? I was robbing and stealing, and everybody, I made, let's say, a couple $1 million robbing and stealing and cheating people all over. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just take these millions of dollars that I had robbed, stole, and cheated people out of their income and all of this stuff. And I'm going to try to flip it to make it good and make me good. Now, some people do this. They flip it, but they still ain't good. You know what I mean? They just got a facade. And the devil ain't going to really take theirs away from them because they just playing a role. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm looking out here trying to look good. I'm out here trying to say that, you know, God gave me all of this, knowing that the devil still giving them, they still working on the dark side, but they portraying that they not on the dark side. So there's a line. There's a line that you got to see between. And that's why God, you know, not even God, but people be like, yo, you never know what a person had went through to get to what he has got. Because some people out here, they doing the most dirtiest things out here and lying and perpetrating like they are filled with God's presence, filled, the reason why they come up is because God did for them. Straight lie. Now, we ain't out here supposed to be speculating on everybody else, like on people like that, but there are people that's living the facade. Like, they did it the dirty way to get to where they got and the riches that they got, and then they go and claim that God did this for them, and it's furthest from the truth. And, you know, that's something that they got to take up with God. And then that's when God be like, I never knew you, fam. You know what I mean? Like, you out here doing the most. You out here stunting and lying to these people, telling them that I'm the one that's helping you out, when you know for dang sure that you know you working on Team Satan. You know what I mean? You know you doing the most. You know you out here in these streets fabricating the truth. You ain't never gave up everything to come and serve me and then let me rebuild you the right way to being righteous, and this money is from me. Now, don't get it twisted. God is going to elevate his people, and definitely some of the people going to be super rich. But that's also to establish his kingdom out here on this land and to help others. And you'll see it from the people when he establishes them, and how those people react and act towards when they would come within these riches and glory that God says he's going to give to his people. You know what I mean? You'll see that it's not the same as, like, you know what I mean? They're not going to be out here all flashy and gaudy about it. You know what I mean? That's one thing that they're not going to be, you know what I mean, boisterous about. You know, oh, I got all of this and you ain't got that, so God must ain't be blessing you. Like, that's not how it go, and that's not how one of God's people will talk to you. Like, because these people that God's going to be blessing with riches, they're going to know that they had to get it out of the mud. They had started. They might have even had, you know what I mean? Some of us already had, but we had to lose to regain what was right in the righteous way. You know what I'm saying? Some of us already was on the spectrum of like, oh yeah, I'm doing it right, God. And then God like, nah, you doing some things right, but you ain't doing everything right. This money that you getting from this group of people, I don't want you to get money from them. I don't want that money in your presence. It's not gonna excel you in your purpose. It's gonna hinder you in the long run in your purpose. But God, I can make so much more money dealing with these folk. I don't care about none of that. They're not doing what I got you out here to do. What you doing for them, even though you're not really involving yourself as being, you know what I mean, like, oh, I'm just doing a service. And one of the services I deal with, you know, it just could also benefit the dark side, like being a plumber or being a, you know, an electrician or being a, you know, a driver or any of these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be doing a service just for your own business and still helping out the kingdom of darkness. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can be helping out the kingdoms of darkness, but by you doing a service, like you putting in these 3 toilets that this liquor store or this strip club needs, you know what I mean? You the one that's helping out that establishment to further the wrong doings against God. You're helping out the dark side in that sense. Like, God will chastise you on that note. And it gets deep, you know what I mean? Like, God be like, I mean, I've been there, you know what I mean? And it's just like, yo, wait a minute, like, God, I'm just doing what I'm just doing my services. It's not even like I'm going here to spend money on none of that or whatever. It's like, nah. Maybe before there were seasons that you could do these things, but now we're living in a time that God don't want you doing that type of stuff for certain groups. Now, that's on every person as individual is an individual. Everybody has to go to God himself. Everybody's relationship with God on that level is different. Not saying that you can't be the one that can. He might have you in a season that you can still deal with these type of people and that type of stuff, you know what I mean? Because he wants you to do, maybe that's what you came up in, and he wants you to know, you to traverse and try to help who you can help before you move out of that area, that type of situation. Maybe you was doing a job before you even got close to God, that you was, he got you finishing that project, and it's like, oh, after this project's done, you ain't doing that no more. You know what I mean? There's all different types of levels to that. And like I was saying, like, fast money don't help you out when it comes to having a resume. A lot of these young bucks don't know that. Like, they'll leave they'll leave the game 20 years later thinking that they're going to get a decent job out here in the work field, and you're not going to have that type of job that you would want if you was to just work a 9 to 5 the way that you were supposed to, like build your career up, build your level of expertise up, you know what I mean? Or building a portfolio per se. Say, you had a couple dollars, and you know what I mean, like you did a couple projects or whatever, like that's building up a portfolio, but you have to have references, you know what I mean? Even if it's not a resume, your portfolio, you have to have references, you have to have pictures, you have to have locations, all these different things to build up. Hey, what makes you believe that you deserve this type of pay now? What puts you to the top echelon of money gain, that you just not the typical warehouse type of worker. Like, I can just get you from anywhere. You've been driving a forklift for 5 years. Not knocking a person that's driving a forklift or any of those things, but you need to better yourself to be more sufficient and more needed than the next man. You need to have more qualities than just being a one-show pony. You know what I mean? You need to have like 5 different types of different types of skill sets to be like, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. I've been doing this for this many years. I've been doing that for this many years. I worked at this company. I worked over here. I built this. I did that. You know what I mean? There's certain things, and it's just like, if you're hustling or getting fast money and you're not used to working and stuff, when you come to the work field or the flow of things, it's not going to be good for you, because you're going to start from the bottom, and you ain't gonna want that at 40 years old making $15 an hour, when you seeing someone like 18, 19, he might have been working in the field for like 2 years or something like that. He 21, he been working in the field for 2 years. You 45, and he making $24 an hour, and you making $18 an hour. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta know that when you out here in these streets and you getting that fast money, it doesn't help elevate you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I was making $500,000 a year pitching and selling cocaine and all of this, that, and the third. And it's just like, okay, so when you go in the work atmosphere, how much you making an hour? How much are you worth? That's the truth. That's the truth. That's the cut and dry. Like, people don't talk about that. Like, a lot of hustlers, and oh yeah, you got to get this hustle money. And when they done hustling and stuff, and they go into the work atmosphere, start asking them like, yo, how much you make an hour? And then the dumbers don't. You be like, what was you been doing? Like, you should have been hustling and doing a 9 to 5. But you know how hard that would be, right? Not saying that people don't do that. Some do. But it's still, you know what I mean? It's just like, when you hustling that fast money, and then you trying to do a job, trying to build your career up. Some people do. They do both of that. And like I said, those are the ones that's out here faking the funk, acting like they done switched it up. Oh, I don't do that no more. I don't know. I switched it up, but like I said, when you start doing it really on the good side, you got to get rid of all that old dirty money first. God gonna make sure that. Devil gonna make sure that too. He gonna put a couple things in play, and he gonna see if you really about that. Like, oh, you just want to do it the right way, the clean way. Oh word, oh word. Let me put this hurdle in front of you real quick. Let me put this little stepping stool that you gotta walk up on over and cross, and see if you still, you know what I mean. Let me get you fired over here, even though you know you're going to get another job over there. But I'm going to make it seem a little bit, daunting to you a little bit to see if you're going to pick up another pack. Like if you're going to take that last check and go get a pack and see if you can do both. And he's going to find out like, oh yeah, he just saying that. He just saying that. But if times go hard, first thing he gonna do is pick up a pack or something. What he know, what he think is what he know. What he think is gonna help him get back on. But all you is just crushing other folk, breaking other people's spirits with that type of stuff. And that's what God's trying to bring his children away from. You know what I mean? Like, you have to go through some hard times sometimes. But that's also going to build up your character. That's also going to build up your faith and reliance on him, who's trying to bring you out of condemnation, bring you from the wilderness into the righteousness, bring you from being a street corner pharmacist to being a righteous man of Christ, following the ways he wants you to go, following your purpose and building up your purpose, because there's a lot of people that have got so many different skills that God wants to exploit out here in this world that people aren't doing. They're not trying to learn and grow their skill sets. And the longer you stray away from, doing it the easy way or doing it the fast way and getting money the fast way, ski mask way, right? All that, listening to these rap songs and stuff and thinking that these people on the TV tube is telling you about these things and oh yeah, this, that, and the third, and if you do this and you do that, or you hustle like this, you won't get caught. It's all lies. It's all lies, man. If you don't get caught from the government or whoever, you know what I mean, you're still under righteous judgment. And that's a fact. You're still under God's judgment. And you know that, this life that you live is a test. It could be a testimony, or it could be a testament of what not to do. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he thought he had it. Or that's why it'd be like, oh, God did not do this in your name, did not do that in your name, but yeah, I told you to stop doing this, and then you just kept on going, thinking that you needed to do this. And it was like, oh God, you didn't show me. Like, yes, he did. He told you. You just didn't want to follow. You didn't want to build your faith to keep on going the righteous way. So I'm going to leave that one right there. I mean, I could talk about that type of stuff all day. But yeah, a lot of these young folk, man, they need to understand, like, fast money comes fast, you lose it fast. You can make a lot of wealth getting fast money, but you'll also lose it fast. You can't spend it the same way. You know what I mean? And then when you have to get it out the mud the right way, some people crash out. They can't handle it because it's too much for them to bear, you know. And some people don't like to be, humbled too. So maybe I'll talk about this subject on another day, but I'm gonna leave that one right there. God bless.